Hey guys, welcome to the Big Blue United podcast. My name is TJ. I'm here with Dan and Colin. We are fresh off our first preseason game. A loss to the Lions, but who cares? It's preseason, doesn't count. What counts the most is, what you take away from the game and about the position battles and all that fun stuff. But before we get to the Giants, how you guys been? Dan, how was your business trip? Did you learn a lot?
Yeah. I just want people to know if they saw how this pod actually started by TJ laughing psychotically to himself. So it sounds like we're laughing. No one would listen to anything we say because it's totally insane.
You got to kick it off fresh, man. You know what I'm saying?
I like it. It's absolutely unhinged.
Yeah.
The trip was good. Business all over it. And then I upgraded my flight on the way home so I could do more work on the plane so I wouldn't be sitting in a middle seat. So that was tight. And then I got home and then I did more work after putting the children to bed.
Nice.
Also, I could hang out with Colin this weekend and watch him get insanely drunk on a golf course. And then not slow down at all. It was incredible. It was quite the feat.
You guys played some golf this weekend?
We golfed, yeah.
Yeah, we did. It was Beekman Golf Course in Beekman, like Hopewell Junction, basically, real close to there. Great, beautiful place. Very, very sweet.
Unfortunately, the sun was out, so Colin had to wear like full finger to butt.
Do you have? If you were both enough, would you have a guy just follow you around with an
umbrella man? Yeah,
all the time.
I mean, I made a point, though. I mean, the technology of clothing nowadays is so great that you can wear long sleeves and pants and not be overheated. So I'm procuring all of these high
garments.
High garments.
They were so comfortable. Colin wore them he slept in them.
I did.
Take an article of clothing.
Yeah. Good for you.
I planned on it. I brought other clothes. It didn't happen.
When they're that good, why take them off?
No.
Sorry, I missed it. I went to a 1-year-old's birthday party in the Bronx.
Nice.
Early in the morning with a hangover. And it was, it's like not the Bronx. It's like you got to take Metro North there.
Yeah.
It's like Woodhaven. It's basically Westchester.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. So
nice little neighborhood, though.
Yeah. I don't know that neighborhood. Is it anywhere close to
it's like
Woodlawn?
It is Woodlawn.
Oh, you said Woodhaven.
You said Woodlawn. No, I said Woodlawn.
You said Woodhaven.
Oh, whatever. Screw you guys.
All right.
Delegitimized.
It's over now. I had 4 high noons and had like 10 mozzarella sticks. So it was really dope. This is a really good day. Yeah. Good. And then I just fell asleep for the rest of it. Well, Colin on the links. Oh, look at that stance. Beautiful man. Make sure you watch it on YouTube so you can see Colin's golf stance.
Coming down on it.
Oh, nice Giants bucket hat too.
That was from the training camp.
Oh, that's right. You were talking about that bucket hat last week.
It's great, comfy. Covers the old vampire face.
This episode brought to you by Giants bucket hats.
Yeah.
I don't know where you can buy one, but somewhere. But we don't get any money for it, so I'm not going to promote it.
Yeah. I actually don't know if it's sold. It was given by the team for the season ticket holders, which was cool. But I've never seen it out in the wild. So maybe
So go to the Giants training camp, wait in the parking lot for one of the players to come out, and then yell at them loudly about where your bucket hat is and see if they get you one. Mm-hmm. That's probably the best thing to do. Mm-hmm. Guys, usual follow us at Big Blue United on all your social medias. BBU Pod Boys of the Z. And guys, you want to jump into some preseason action? Some hot preseason action.
Yeah. Hotter the better.
Yeah. I don't know. What do you guys feel like the better storylines from this game are? I think, we could start with backup O-line or secondary would be a good place to go if you want to start positive.
Well, the first thing on my list that I took a little bit of notes during it. I stopped at a certain point because, when they start cycling in the players that you don't really need to be looking at anymore, I stopped writing. But the first thing on there was just Pinnock. And boy, did he look good early. And they were talking about him on the broadcast too. And then he's making plays as they're talking about him. It's like, oh, all right, this guy's figuring it out. He's clearly going to be the starting guy next to McKinney. And, what did he have? He had the interception, and then he had a
I have
blitz.
the stat.
Yeah.
He played 5 snaps He had a pick, a tackle for a loss, and 2 passes defended in 5
Incredible.
snaps.
Incredible.
I mean, I get it's preseason, but, I think that's kind of seals the deal for him starting next to McKinney in the secondary.
Yeah.
You'd have to think. Or I should say it's safety, rather. But, he was playing great. I was glad we got to see a little bit of him just because I think that, that had been a position battle that, we were kind of eyeing, and it seems to be over now. And I think, just really the secondary overall in this game really played well. I was very happy to see it.
Yeah, it was it was very uplifting to see that early, and just made you feel good.
Yeah, I agree. Secondary was nice to see.
Feels.
Tay Banks.
I was just about to say, what was interesting about the rotation was it was pretty much starting defense in the beginning, but it was a mixed match of offense. So it wasn't quite full starters, but like kind of. It was interesting. You'd at least see, some starters, like main groups, but it was like kind of like how the practice has been going, like throwing in random people.
Yeah.
It seemed to me that if you were locked in as the starter already, you probably weren't playing unless you were and you were a rookie or second year guy.
Yeah.
True.
But yeah, I mean, Tay Banks and Trey Hawkins, I thought both played well. I mean, we've been talking about Trey Hawkins, all camp so far, probably, looking to be one of your 3 starters. Adoree was taking snaps again today at slot, which is a funny thing. That you got a 6th round pick, and I know Dan wasn't here last week, but Dan, how happy does it make you that the Giants could have potentially hit on a late round pick for the first time in 20 years?
That's the best, man. They bet on pure, upside. He's 6'2", runs a sub 4.5 40. He played at a smaller level school, but his production was really good. And there's a lot of
Old
potential.
Dominion?
Yeah, Old Dominion.
Yeah.
So those are the kind of shots you take in the 6th round of the draft. You don't get some guy that's, average athletically, but, interviews well necessarily. I'm not saying he doesn't interview well, but, in the past, the Giants would get, character guys or just, use that 6th round pick to trade up so they could pick a, future criminal cornerback in the 1st round.
Hey, he got acquitted, bro.
Yeah, well.
No, it's great. It's great. That just shows you that they know what they're doing. And I mean, let alone late round guys, but undrafted free agents are also hitting. I think we should talk about some of those as well.
Sure. Who do you like? Other than you're obviously your boy Tommy DeVito.
Yeah. Tommy DeVito was number 1 with a bullet. I think my paisan, Baldonado, played decently. My major, if we were doing a rose and thorn, my absolute thorn for this though would be Bryce Ford Wheaton. Just having he had a few chances, and if he just made 2 of those catches, we would be jumping out off the ceiling.
Yeah.
How excited we were. I still hold that hope. I think he's going to get a lot more chances in the preseason, but you got to make those catches.
He has limitations. And I remember when we picked him up, people were excited. And then when I did the research on him, because I always do my own research, just like Cole Beasley, I
got to do your research.
Have you
ever seen Cole Beasley's office? You see how many books? How many books?
Yeah.
And papers and graphs and statistics he's going through. He's always doing research.
Yeah, just 24 hours a day.
Oh, yeah, okay.
He's what's it called? Like an emeritus at all the local universities. Just in there using the library, using the databases, doing research.
Well, I thought he's just looking up vocabulary words for his rap career.
He's an adjunct professor at the School of Hard Knocks.
I forgot about the rap. I forgot about the rap career. That just adds another whole element of funniness to him.
Yeah.
But what was I say? Bryce Ford Wheaton in college, they only ever ran him on the left field out wide. They literally never took a snap from anywhere else the entire time he was in college. Now,
what kind of limitations can you have as a player where it's figured out early that he just can't play on the right? He couldn't catch a cold over there, so they just stuck him on the left and left.
You'd have to think it's more mental than physical. I mean, or unless he has a Derek Zoolander thing where he can't turn right. Who knows? I'm not
My
sure.
hope is always he has such tremendous physical size and speed that he never had to learn how to do anything else, so he could just line up in one spot and just run really fast. So maybe if he gets pushed or tries hard, he can learn those other.
I mean,
other
you already
skills.
kind of have Jalen Hyatt to do that for you, right? But if there's two guys that can do it, or if you look at our offense, it's like 4 or 5 guys who are just fast, basically.
Yeah.
But I don't mind. I do want to talk Tay Banks quick because I thought he was pretty solid. He played 37 snaps. I mean, we all saw that he kind of was struggling a bit through camp, but you really kind of have to look at it where, he's a young guy. I think that the secondary is just vastly improved. I think, you have to look at the overall just being like Wink Martindale is going to have so much more fun with your front seven now that you have like more, solid people on the back end, especially hitting on Hawkins and potentially Banks. So that was nice. But I do want to ask you guys too about the slot cornerback. We saw kind of Flott and Holmes both play 15, 14 snaps. PFF gave them the exact same grade. What do you think is going to happen there? Do you think Adoree Jackson's going to be the slot and then one of them is going to get cut?
Yeah, I mean, that's probably how that's going to go. I would say it's exactly like that. I don't think Flott's going to get cut, though. No. He proved too much last year to be let go. Darnay Holmes is just we talked about him last week. It's just, I don't know. He showed physicality last season, and then he showed awful decision making. I think he's the odd man out, and I think he's kind of running uphill for the rest.
Just the cap hit was what it is, regardless.
Yeah,
if they're like on the same playing field, then that cap hit goes because as we discussed last week, we feel the Giants are probably going to look for somebody from a team who didn't make it, who was on like a high end competition of a team with a lot of rotational rushers.
Yeah.
So Giants would probably want to use that money to bring somebody else in off the edge just because of how sort of thin they are, regardless of, the 3 dudes, your kind of backup pass rushers had pretty good game, all 3 of them against, lesser competition, but still nice to see like Tomon Fox and man, I cannot pronounce that dude's name. Habakuku. Oh, you already mentioned Baldonado. Sorry.
Just say Baldonado.
Yeah, we say Baldonado. Tashawn Bauer is the other guy I was talking about.
Yeah. I forgot that he was signed.
Habakukuk?
Who resigned?
No, that Bauer was signed. I forgot that he joined the team. Like I was like, what guy is that?
Wait, he's like a 6-year vet from like LSU originally or something.
Yeah,
like that.
they mentioned him a little bit. He's been on a whole bunch of teams, super journeyman kind of guy, and I think he was on the Vikings twice or something, and then he was on the
super
Patriots.
journeyman.
Yeah,
no one ever pronounces it that way. I like it though.
Super journeyman.
Super journeyman.
People use like journeyman versus journeyman.
But he's a journeyman.
I like that.
Yeah.
Speaking of quarterbacks, you think what is Holmes' cap hit? It's
2.6
like
savings.
Yeah, that's too high.
I mean, like there's like the other options. Aaron Robinson, are they going to hold on to him?
Good question.
I would say so. I think that Rodarius Williams is definitely out. I forget what he was like a 4th or 5th round pick, I think, a couple years ago. So it's a bummer to see someone not pan out like that. I don't really think he ever necessarily got a shot. I know he was hurt a couple times, but he was supposed to be like the one really like the man cover guy, like the wink guy, even though he was drafted later. But I think him and Flott have a very similar skill set, and I think Flott is just outplays him every year. They're together. Obviously, both have injury histories, but
hey, who might be able to go? O'Shane Zimenez.
Yeah, he did not.
If he's not popping against second, third string dudes, he's struggling. What are we doing?
He's another Old Dominion guy. Speaking of which,
sure, but he was drafted way too high. He was a 3rd round dude, right?
Yeah, that should have been later.
Him and Lorenzo Carter were just kind of.
I don't know. I think Lorenzo Carter in this defense, in a Wink Martindale defense, that would blitz him and use that speed might have been interesting because he did pop at least.
Yeah, I think Marcus Golden would have still been good on this team too.
Yeah, we could let go of him for like no reason.
Yeah,
it wasn't even like a cap thing. Yeah, that was ridiculous. Did anyone get eyes on Javarius Owens?
Yeah, he had a pretty good game. But I don't think he has special teams upside, but I don't think he's gonna manage to make the roster. I just think they have too many good people in the secondary. But we'll see. I think The one guy that was sort of a fringe player that did well was it Ryder Johnson or who was the seventh round defensive tackle? Anderson,
Ryder
yeah.
Anderson,
yeah, Ryder Anderson, yeah. He had a good game. I mean, I think there's a spots for him. I liked how he sort of just eats up space.
Yeah.
That's just something that good coaching is, because, I think you go into the league, you want to make a splash, but if you're just kind of taking up double teams and letting the linebackers do their work, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And it's a good rotational player to have on your defensive line. You don't need Dexter Lawrence play all the time, but it would be nice.
Would be.
Give him a break, though.
He's going to need a break. He's going to need a break.
He's going to get a nacho break.
Yeah, he was not dressed at all.
Yeah.
I know.
A'Shawn Robinson made a couple plays I saw too.
Yeah, I think that's kind of an underrated rotation guy. I think he's huge.
He's probably gonna start. No,
he could rush the passer. Yeah, I mean, he might be your third down lineman.
Yeah,
totally.
He's penciled.
I mean, I don't know who else really.
It's A'Shawn Robinson, Dexter, Leonard Williams, Kayvon.
Yeah, I guess so. That's interesting. Hey, he was on the pup list for a bit, or whatever you consider it. He wasn't doing anything until this past week, right? Wasn't it like that? He was barely dressing.
DJ Davidson's behind him, so
I saw that. Yeah, and I saw some article about him as well. Then he's back.
Yeah.
Like, okay, well, I don't know. What's going to be interesting is to see how much we stay in the 3-4 as opposed to switching it up. I think Wink has more of the players that he needs to do what he wants to do, and maybe even stay in the 3-4 more than we've seen last year.
I still think, default offense is like a nickel offense now. So, I mean, you might say the base is 3-4, but it's really not particularly that. I think there's just too many looks that offenses are doing now. You really need to shuffle in, more defensive backs. But hopefully now, if Beavers, stays healthy and Akereke stays healthy, that they could potentially, leave a bigger, defense in there because of the speed those guys have to cover the tight end and the safety.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, the tight end or the safeties can cover the tight end as well. Pinnock was doing that pretty well.
To switch gears just slightly, I was really, really bummed out because early on the kick coverage was good, and then as we saw, it turned to shit later on, and the stink eye that Dable gave McGahee, like, you might as well just get the hell off this team at this point. I don't even know why that guy's still around. I don't like him as a special teams coach, and he just, like, I don't know, feel like he's got some dirt on Dable or something like that, because that was awful.
I mean, I think Gillian didn't do them any favors because he's not really kicking with hang time. So when they did score that touchdown, there's no giant down there to make a play.
Yeah.
Just blast the ball long and hard, and then, it gives these guys all the time to, make, use their vision to make themselves, get the most amount of yardage, obviously. But
well, figure it out now, because that there's going to be some lost field position in the regular season if you keep doing that kind of crap. And Gillen's got to figure it out, because he sucked last year, and gave him way too much money to come back, so he's got to figure something out. However, on the flip side, on the positive with special teams, is I thought Eric Ray looked pretty good as a returner, and that's pretty cool for a rookie running back to kind of pencil himself into that role. Mm-hmm. Not a dancer. He just goes for it. He's going straight line and fun, fall forward kind of guy. So it's interesting that Gary Brightwell is. I mean, he returned some too, but he might be out of a job in that front. So
yeah.
I don't know if him or Robinson makes it.
I don't think Brightwell played.
I don't think he did either. Yeah, because what's his name? The other running back, the Jaguars guy.
Robinson.
Yeah, Robinson. I was surprised to see him in over Brightwell. Maybe
I think Brightwell didn't play.
Yeah, I know. But I'm wondering why they decided to go that route, unless it's just they figured out this was the game he was going to play more or whatever. We talked a little bit about it last week. It's going to be really interesting to see what they do with the running backs and who gets kept and who gets put on the practice squad or cut altogether.
I mean, Saquon and Brady are making the team, so it really just comes down to, are they going to carry 3 or 4 guys? If they carry 3 guys, you'd think it's either Gray or, because they invested a draft pick in him, and maybe they send Brightwell to the practice squad. Robinson was sort of, I think, signed as an insurance policy if the deal with Saquon didn't get done. So I think, they signed him and then Saquon signed like 4 days later. So we'll see how it goes, but they could carry 4 running backs. It's definitely possible.
Yeah. Especially depending on what they intend on doing with this offense. It'll be interesting.
And I think if one of those guys is your return specialist, then it probably gives him a much better shot to be on the team, and they would carry an extra guy at that position.
And what better way to make your mark as a rookie than put in the hard work to special teams? I mean, that's how you keep your job.
Hard work.
Yeah.
Actually, do you guys think that Tommy DeVito might land? Do you think they might carry 3 quarterbacks, or do you think he's just going to be practice squad for sure?
No, he's prime practice squad material.
Yeah, I'm with you.
And you know what? I'm fine with it. Like, I think he's probably well aware that that's the case. Dan, I don't know if you saw, he definitely has a gold chain pumped on that.
Yeah, I saw that.
That was good. He made some good plays. Those throws to Crowder were pretty decent. They had a couple of connections there.
My favorite throw was that absolute hospital ball he threw to Beasley, who just got absolutely demolished.
Yeah.
Reminiscent of, that Reggie Bush welcome to the NFL moment, which was funny because it was like the opposite welcome to the NFL moment. I think the announcer said, welcome to the NFL. I was like, Cole Beasley's like 50. And the guy who hit him is a rookie. That the guy, or whoever the guy they overdrafted in the first round. But
the linebacker.
Yeah, I'm curious. Like, Cole Beasley's old, right? So if he gets injured, can he go to the hospital since he's not vaccinated, or does he have like a woman with oils and crystals come over and like sort of do it that way?
Yeah, well, he's certainly not taking any injections if he goes to the hospital.
No, that's
the microchips.
That's the liberals.
Yeah.
Every injection has microchips.
Yeah. Bill Gates was there when I got my COVID vaccine. Yep.
George Soros runs all the hospitals.
I came out of the school I got vaccinated in. I saw Soros and Bezos peek around the corner and laugh and run away.
Yeah. And then Zuckerberg came by in an Escalade and picked him up.
Speaking of this, I saw talk about unhinged. This picture, this AI created picture, was it said instead of fighting, Elon Musk and Zuckerberg are going to raise children on Mars, and it's Zuckerberg pregnant with Elon's like hands on his shoulders, like smiling like he's proud behind him.
So stupid.
I mean, that would probably be for the best for everybody if they did go impregnate each other on Mars and stay out of our affairs for the rest of their life.
That'd be great.
That whole thing is really funny, by the way. And you know what I just love so much? It's like, you never would have thought you would say something positive about Mark Zuckerberg, and then Elon Musk is just such a abysmal, insufferable he's a dorky piece of trash, and he's the easiest person to make fun of all time. And all of a sudden, people are like, "Yeah, Zuckerberg's not that bad."
Yeah. Well, what's the latest in the fight? It's been backpedaled because Elon's just like, "Oh, can we do a practice fight in my backyard first?"
No, at Zuckerberg's Octagon. He's like, I need to practice.
But he has to get surgery, but his mom won't let him do it, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, exactly.
He's such a bozo.
Yeah, power bozo.
Yeah.
The word's chance.
They should have never gave that guy money. Chance for sure.
Yeah. Should have never gave that guy money. Doesn't have the same.
No.
Do what you can with what you're
let's
able.
Who else sucked?
We need to talk about the offensive line.
Yeah. Wyatt Davis is incredibly bad.
Yeah.
Listen, give Wyatt Davis a little break because I think he was only playing tackle because Neal, Tyler Williams, and Devery Hamilton were all injured.
Yeah,
but he's projecting more as a guard. But still, man,
they
looked raw.
Corey Cunningham was pretty bad.
Oh, he was
Corey
terrible.
Cunningham was pretty bad.
I mean, basically anyone not named John Michael Smith was pretty bad.
Yeah.
And I would say the second best player was like Shane Lemieux, probably, which is interesting.
But it's John Michael Jingerheimer Schmitz now. That's his. That's my name too.
Do you ever see that meme where it's like, "Oh, my name's John Jacob Jingleheimer Smith," and the other guy's like, "Oh, you're not gonna effing believe this, bro."
Yeah. So that's it's mine too.
Yeah.
It's great.
Crazy.
Meme.
Yeah. It's unfortunate.
Speaking of him, he looked pretty decent. He did
down. Look fine. Yeah.
JMS.
Yeah. My biggest concern is you had, Brendison and Azudu in there, and both of them kind of did not play well at all.
Azudu had moments. I watched a couple clips of him. He just looked like he got tired, maybe because he's enormous.
I mean, I don't know. They Tyrod and Tommy were running for their lives all game.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true.
I mean, the other guy I can mention is Pert, who, you know, we've liked him in the past. He's not a starter. He's, you know, could be your third tackle, but I think, you know, probably maybe projects to be more of like a fourth or fifth tackle if you are carrying that many. Probably not.
Projects not to be on any NFL team as other than the Giants.
I'd imagine he would make the team. I'd imagine he'd make the team. Yeah, exactly. He wouldn't make any other team, but he'd make this one. Well, that's just like goes to show you, like, really, what is the depth on this team, though? Like, if people do get injured, it's not going to be fun for anyone to watch.
Well,
this.
that's why we have 75 wide receivers right now.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, you have to hope that
you know what
your core guys, you know, are playing all year.
You know what our wide receiver room looks like? It's like when you do auction fantasy drafts and you spend all your money on running backs and quarterbacks, or just like you spend a bunch of money on your starters and then you only have enough money to spend $1 on everyone.
Yeah.
Like that's all our wide receivers. It's just dollar auction guys. Just like they're all like the same. None of them are great. But I don't know. I'm still hopeful about that. But I think you're right. Across the board are like offense and defense. Not a lot of depth anywhere. But that just is a reminder of, you know, Davey G kicking it on the beach.
Well, yeah.
Not planning for the future or drafting well.
His fingers.
Yeah, people are going to give
him
him props for, you know, hitting on, Dexter Lawrence or Andrew Thomas, and they're like, oh, he was good. He's better than you think. It's like, no, our team is nothing.
I mean,
it's like that. I mean, Andrew Thomas, like, you know, there were 3 guys who could have picked at the top of that draft.
Yeah.
At that position,
But
you would have been fine with any of them.
Check out X, dude. People are giving him props for his first round picks.
Check out X. I got confused what you were talking about for a second. Another
you don't call it X all the time?
Elon Musk move. Yeah, we did this last week, so I know. Do it again.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, what were we talking about? I don't remember.
The offense, the lack of depth, fire.
Oh, my daughter's flashing the lights in the room.
She's getting the rave ready.
Yeah, right.
Glow sticks.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah. I mean, you know, okay, if we're going back to Gettleman draft picks. Okay, first round picks. I mean, yes, Dexter Lawrence. Who, by the way, would you rather have Dexter Lawrence or have had Odell Beckham Jr. for the last 8 years?
Injured or not?
Well, you never know what can happen.
Who did he take with the pick above that? Was that Daniel Jones? What was who? Because
they traded up with Baker. Not Andrew Thomas was not in the first round. Who was the guy that picked?
Andrew Thomas.
Was it Andrew Thomas, and then got Dexter Lawrence, and then they traded up for Baker in the same way. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, you know, they only got that pick because of Odell, and then you also traded for the heck was his name, Jabril Peppers, right?
Yeah.
And you know, I remember
it was like I view that as 3 first-round picks because Jabril Peppers was a first-round pick.
Yeah.
What a terrible trade. God.
Idiot.
Never go back. I mean, you know, I'm happy Dexter Lawrence is on the team. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to get anybody confused.
Yeah, he's my favorite player.
He's great.
Yeah,
obviously. Best dance, best nickname,
all
best
that
player.
All that mic'd up stuff is great. It's gold.
Yeah.
He's a funny man.
From this past preseason game it was the practice.
Yeah.
It was just, hello, Jared. Goes up to the line, just says that. It's like you're so goofy, but like I love it.
Oh, I love that too. That was really funny.
Yeah, it's like here's how I'm gonna get under
his skin. Jared Goff's response when he was like, "That's a sack," and he's like, "I'll eat it all day. Eat it. I'll eat that. I'll eat that."
Eat sack? Like, what are you talking about?
I don't know. It's like,
yeah, you'd be eating shit when his face gets planted into the floor.
I mean, you know, he's a better quarterback than people give him credit for. But I think he's still kind of douchey. He's Chauncey. I think he's
of course
a bit.
Most are.
I mean, I would be a Chauncey too if I got to move from Southern California to Detroit.
There's not many quarterbacks that aren't Chauncey, to be real.
It's true.
Aaron Rodgers.
I think it's everybody.
What? Aaron Rodgers is king of them.
He's not a Chauncey though. He's just
he's not a traditional Chauncey.
You're saying he's a non-traditional Chauncey, but he's still Chauncey.
Yes.
He's a guy that thinks he's a lot smarter than he is, which is a true Chauncey.
I don't know. Like I feel like Chauncey's like he's like the guy telling on you for doing drugs, but Aaron Rodgers is likes to take, you know, hallucinogens and
Do you think Cole Beasley and Aaron Rodgers are going to get together since they're going to be playing in the same city, in the same stadium?
Yes.
They're gonna strengthen each other's immunizations when they hang out with each other.
They're going to get immunized together.
Just by hanging out and spitting in each other's mouths from a distance.
Nice.
I mean, what else are you going to do? It's a wide receiver and a quarterback.
Yeah.
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 What else are they talking about?
I wish I had spent more time coming up with Cole Beasley jokes. But if he makes the team, I'm going to have to really do my research on Cole Beasley jokes.
Yeah.
He you know what? He'll probably make the team.
He's a Daboll guy. Through and through.
That's why.
Mm-hmm.
And
he's got that tiny little dog in him. Got a little dog in him.
He's got the Mad Dog 2020 in him.
Yeah. I mean, he knows the offense, so I guess it could help the room, if you will.
He's going to catch like 900 3-yard passes, and the passing game is never going to happen because Daniel Jones is just going to drill it to him if Darren Waller isn't wide open.
You know, I think you need to. This is the only time of the year, Dan, where you could possibly be just a little bit positive about what we're going.
You got to start curbing those expectations immediately.
No. There's a window where you can live it for a moment about a week before the first game, and then
there's a saying, I'll believe it when I see it.
I feel like that window was last week, and we did that pod already. But now we have to get back to our.
Hey, wait, guys! Did you? It was leading ESPN today. Daniel Jones was a 10 for 11 in 11 on 11 drills or something.
4 touchdown passes.
4 touchdown passes.
They failed to mention that it was a red zone drill. 4 touchdown passes.
Yeah.
Hey, it's better than what he's done in the past in the red zone. Although last game wasn't awful.
There's no way he's not going to be better this year.
He's got to be better.
Yeah, he has to be better.
Yeah,
I just think that, we said it last week, the continuity. I mean, he just needs to get the ball down the field and stop running so much. And I think that would really make me believe that Daniel Jones might, get through this 4 years of this deal. Because I don't know if he will.
To be determined.
TBD.
No hot takes.
On him, I don't know. Believe it when we see it, kind of like this is it. I said it last week. It's the put up or shut up, like automatic. Like this is it. It's all here. Yeah, there's no excuses at all. I mean, people are going to figure them out anyway because they always do. I almost want to not look at Twitter this season. I was thinking about that because I don't want to
Twitter.
Well, for Giants Twitter.
No, what's Twitter?
Oh, I'm not calling it that garbage.
Yeah, what do you say? Like I just X'd Saquon Barkley on Twitter on X.
X is my X on social media.
That's why it's great because you took a brand where it was like tweet and tweeted were like in the dictionary, and you're like, now let's go to post instead.
It was like
out of there.
Textbook like branding.
Yes, it was like perfect branding and marketing. Yeah,
ruin it. And
also, I figured out that his son is named X as well. Like that.
Oh, it's like followed by like a bunch of numbers. Yeah.
It's pronounced X Archangel.
Yeah, and they are on non-talking terms. Let's stop talking about him, please. I don't.
No, well, can I mention one thing that I did find funny? Right after they broke up, Grimes was just standing at a bus stop reading the Communist Manifesto, like leaned up against a pole, like totally was trying to get a picture taken of her to get published.
For sure. That's stupid.
What, communism or Grimes?
Both.
Yeah, that's true.
Did you guys see any of the other preseason games this weekend?
No.
Yeah, I saw a little bit of the Raiders and Niners, and it was like
that touchdown, and it was funny.
Yeah,
that tipped interception when they ended up scoring a touchdown.
It was pretty cool. I mean, only preseason does that kind of weird crap happen. I didn't really see a lot of it, but I'm just trying to catch more of it because I want to see what the hell's going on with everybody else right now because I feel like we're so Giantsed out that I'm not paying attention to everything else.
This time of year it's hard. There's just people to follow, and there's so many position battles. It's hard enough. There's double the amount of players on your own team that there are during the season. Basically, trying to do that everywhere. But I do want to make fun of Ezekiel Elliott being signed to the Patriots.
Oh yeah,
because it's such an old Belichick. Let's get old men. I hate youth. They don't understand anything. blah, blah, blah. I think Belichick is washed, man.
I think he is too.
You should just quit while he's ahead.
He's not gonna though. He's
No.
He's the kind of guy that he will retire, and then you're gonna hear. You don't want to put it out there, but he's just gonna his health is gonna deteriorate, and he's gonna lose purpose. He's gonna feel like he's gonna stay in football in one way or the other for the rest of his life. He has to.
Yeah, I will give Belichick credit for one thing. His son is just the coolest looking guy I ever saw.
Oh, does he still have the mullet, or does he look even weirder now?
He's got a mullet and his tongue hanging out all the time on the sideline, just looking like he's tweaking and something. He was hanging out with LT before the game.
Yeah,
hands on his knees, ready to run. It's a coach.
Yeah,
sickening.
I did catch they were running. I don't know what. I guess it was ESPN, but they were running. Remember they did Bill on ESPN, where
it was great.
One
of the best things ever.
I was watching that, man. That was awesome. When they were showing the sideline audio of them arguing, that was cool.
Yeah,
was
very cool because they're very different people.
Yeah,
very strange circumstance that they put them into too, which I wasn't I remember the whole Jets thing where Belichick was the coach, but Parcells was really the coach. And I remember when this happened when my dad was a Jets fan at the time, and I didn't really understand the intricacies of what exactly was going on. And it just seems like a really stupid thing that they did and kind of pigeonholed. The Jets could have had Belichick as their coach. Probably,
He never had any intention on doing that, and that's the most damning part,
Yeah, it's interesting kind of the way, these singular little decisions really change the whole shape of the NFL.
What's unfortunate about that show and why it was so good was just, and we've talked about it before, of him walking into that room in the old Giant Stadium and just having a moment to reflect on his whole career and how he got to that point. And he wouldn't have gotten to that point if it wasn't for the people in that room and everybody he coached with and all that kind of stuff. So that's the real small moment where you can look at him and be like, all right, he's kind of a giant at heart. So it's hard to completely hate him.
Yeah, I think he was more mourning the fact that he has to play in front of New England Patriot fans for his entire life, and he didn't get to play in front of real fans and the Meadowlands.
You know what? He doesn't even give a crap about fans, period.
He would if they weren't the worst fans on earth.
It's true.
Whoa. Don't be so rude to Philadelphia, Dan.
I respect Philadelphia fans way more than I respect Patriot fans.
Really?
Yes.
Oh,
I don't see it.
Yes,
they're way worse.
Either.
No.
They're pretty
no.
I mean, they're different, but it's pretty low.
What do people think about Giants fans, other teams?
Crappy fans, probably.
So I mean, we all suck, basically.
Yeah,
is what it comes down to. No, I'm going to tell you, Colin and I went to see a Giants-Jets game one time, and a guy in a Jets jersey dressed like Jesus told me he wanted to anoint me, and then poured green liquor down my throat, whatever it was.
That's pretty awesome.
It was good. I got a little drunk, and I appreciated Jets fans from that day forward.
Yeah. I respect Jets fans.
Yeah, I don't have anything against them at all.
That's why I don't respect Patriot fans for the same exact reason. It's because they've had a very privileged 20 years, and they are bad losers and annoying winners, and have no frame of reference and have the most annoying accent you could ever imagine.
Yeah.
And they're usually
I'm a fifth generation
uptight.
Cape Codder.
Yeah, worst. I'd way rather someone with a Delco accent or something and be from a mining town in Pennsylvania than some yuppie from Amherst.
Or Brookline.
Yeah. Brookline.
I see a picture on my whatever you want to call the articles, my Giants articles right here. I would have liked to see
on my computer box.
Yeah, my computer box thing with the pictures and the football. Would have liked to see a little more of Mr. Jalen Hyatt out there. He was only in there for a brief time. I wanted to see a little more.
They got to get him a few more cycles of steroids before they let him on the field a little longer. He's a little too frail.
He is very, very skinny. That is true. But
he'll be fine.
So is what's his name on the Eagles? So whatever.
Devonta Smith.
Yeah, guy's like a rail.
Devonta Smith was a much better wide receiver. Yeah.
Yeah.
A much better.
I'm just saying in terms of the physique is fairly similar. So
right.
If he can make it work, this guy can too.
The Hyde's a little taller than him, isn't he?
Yes.
Maybe an inch or two.
I mean, Devonta Smith, probably would have been a Giant had he not been taken by the Eagles,
For sure.
So I'm sure if he was on our team, you would have loved him. I'm sure we all would be loving him right now.
Yeah.
I got no problems with him. He's a perpetual fantasy team guy for me, so not that matters.
It's very good.
So what we got the Panthers next week. That's or Friday rather. What do you guys think about that? I mean, who do you think is going to play? How do you think they're going to go about?
I don't think you'll see starters going to play.
Wait, there's only 3 preseason games, right?
Yeah, I think
you're going to see some starters play. I think you'll see them play a series on offense.
I don't think Daniel will play.
Not one.
I don't think Saquon will play. I think Daniel will play.
Yeah, because he didn't play last game, so he's got to get something.
Yeah, they're going to have to
play game 3.
Something. But I thought, isn't game 3 the new game 4?
Oh, because there's no game 4 anymore.
Yeah, it's all like it's all like the game 4 is now game 3. Game 3 is now game 2.
Mm-hmm.
For game 3, before you normally would have, checked out your starters and kind of made your last decisions on, the depth chart, and then your 4th game being who is your fringe players that might make the roster or where you're going to go with the practice squad.
Yeah.
So you might imagine that shifted back, but I haven't really seen a dynamic emerge with the new preseason schedule like that yet. So could be very up in the air.
Do you remember how it was last year? How they went about it? Because I don't remember if it was Jones played more in the last game, the second game. I don't.
He played in all the games because they had no idea what they had in him.
True.
I think now, he's getting paid. You don't want him to get injured. He doesn't have an injury history, but you have to throw them out there a little bit just so they can get a couple reps against a team. That's not practice, obviously.
Yeah.
More importantly, who do you think is going to win?
I don't care.
Exactly, it's a joke.
Yeah. Okay.
I hope everybody has fun.
Yeah, both teams.
Hope it's a learning experience. No one gets hurt. Yep.
That's it.
I hope. I'm interested to see a little Bryce Young too. It should be fun.
Yeah. Yep, should be fun.
I mean,
preseason, there's so little to talk about. It's just.
We managed a whole full podcast just now about it, Dan.
Yeah,
I know.
We did it.
I know. I'm just saying.
We made it.
We don't have to squeeze any more insights out of it.
No, we don't.
I was gonna. What do I expect? I'm gonna say probably that they're gonna put some players out. They're gonna play.
Yeah.
They're gonna make some evaluations on the players, and then it's gonna the outcome of the game and individual performances will lead to conversations about shaping the roster into the regular season.
Whoa. Yeah, that's a good take.
All right, guys. Great. I'm sorry I asked. Jesus Christ.
I'm sorry, Colin. It was just,
what else do you
think? There. It was just there.
Well, because this is a podcast and we must say things. That is why.
We have to bring value.
It's like, hey, guys, welcome to the Big Blue United podcast. Should we talk about the preseason game last week? It's like, nah.
I had this salad last night. It was killer.
Oh, yeah? I like salad.
I didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't.
Let's talk salad next time.
You guys want to talk salad?
Salad.
I'm thinking about adding a third salad on the Teddy's menu, but I'm not sure what it should be.
Who had a salad today? I had a salad today.
I had a salad today.
Nice. 3? Can we make it 3? TJ, you have a salad?
Nah.
Sorry,
guys.
Yeah.
I had meatballs and pasta.
I had meatballs in my salad.
Nice.
There you go.
That's good.
And I didn't have lunch because lunch is for the week.
Yeah.
No, breakfast is for the week.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't have that either.
That's right.
You're a 1 meal a day psycho.
1 meal a day, baby. That's it. That's it.
Simplify our life.
Yeah.
I drink a lot of bread soda to supplement.
Wobbly pops.
Yeah, that's exactly that. All right. Anything else tonight, guys?
No.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening to us. You can follow Big Blue United on Facebook, X, and Instagram. You can follow us on X at BBU Pod with the Z.
Yeah.
Follow us so you can, get your info when our pod comes out. Or you can just subscribe on Apple. One of those, whatever you want to do. I don't care.
Can we drop like super annoying DMX every time you say X? Just X gotta give it to just really loud. Anytime we mention Twitter.
If you want to know a fun fact about us, we had the same high school football coach as DMX did, which I think we mentioned on the pod before, but it's worth mentioning again.
Yeah. Darkman X.
Yep.
That's right. Rest in peace. All right. Thanks for listening, guys. Have a good night. We'll see you next week. More preseason action and, whatever else happens between now and then. Who knows? Good night.
Buonanotte.